Hey, what's up guys, Wallen Customs here, and today we are finally taking a look at the SH Figuarts. We have Tien right here, finally. Man, he is easily top 5 favorite characters on Dragon Ball Z and Super whatever. Here's the back right here, looks pretty cool. Let's open him up. Alright, so here is Tien out of the box. Now he comes with a bunch of accessories, so let's take a look at them all side by side. First off, we have Chaosu right here, Chaosu, whatever you want to call his name. Chaosu. Anyway, so yeah, he's pretty cool looking. He doesn't have a lot of articulation, just a swivel head right there. But he does come with a little accessory right here, but you would clamp him onto Nappa when he sacrifices himself basically to try to defeat him. What's funny about that is that if you look really closely, he has a little bit of a tear right there, I think. He's about to cry. He's like, Tien. But other than that, it's a pretty decent little figure of him. Pretty much is the only figure we would ever get of him, in my opinion. But looks pretty good. He, like I said before, he does have a swivel head right there, but that pretty much is it. And yeah, you can have him in the corner if you want. You can't really attach him to Tien, but whatever. Alright, Tien also comes with 4 different heads, which is pretty nice. You have his normal head right there, then you have his shouting face right there, kind of an agony looking face, and a smirking face right there. I like him a lot. They also come with nifty little attachments so you can secure them and you don't lose them, which is pretty nice as well. Now in total, Tien does come with 4 different pairs of hands actually. So he has fist hands right here, he has kind of blast hands right there, another open hand right there. He does have his tri-beam hands right there, and he does also have a kind of like a blast hand that he uses 2 fingers with, which is pretty cool too. Now honestly, of all these different head sculpts and different hand gestures, you have so many different possibilities of how you want to pose Tien. This is just him being menacing, you know, getting his fist ready for battle. This right here, he has the most muscular pose right here because he is freaking jacked. Look at him. Ooh. Next up right here we have Tien flexing his back, showing off all his muscles, really trying to get into that pose. I'm saying you have a lot of fun with this figure, oddly. Next up right here we have Tien doing the solar flare. You know, he actually used it a lot back in the day in Dragon Ball Z as well, as much as Krillin. I'm not really sure who did it first, to be honest, but he definitely used that attack more than once. Now lastly, he does have his hands to do the tri-beam cannon of his, which is fantastic looking. But these 2 hands are really unique looking because they're actually molded in a way to have his hands come together. So you can see that there's little kind of grooves in there, which look kind of weird by himself, but especially on the thumb on this one, you can see that there's a little bit of a peg right there. So actually when you put the 2 hands together, they peg together and come together like that to make the tri-beam cannon, which is pretty fantastic. Here's Tien right now doing his tri-beam cannon, which is fantastic looking. I like how it looks. You can use different head sculpts, different face expressions for it. You can definitely get some nice pictures of him seeing his face in between it. This is definitely really cool. I like this a lot. And we all love this attack, especially most notable when he was facing Cell. Just giving it to Cell, man. You never realized how powerful this attack was until he was one-on-one with Cell, so it's pretty cool. Alright, now that we have all the accessories out of the way, let's take a look at the figure himself. Alright, now let's take a look at him up close and personal. His head sculpts, including all of them, honestly, they are fantastic looking. A lot of fun poses, a lot of fun face expressions. They are just fantastic and pretty good. You know, he has his third eye right there. Very clean looking, very nice. Eyebrows look good, the eyes, even the little line underneath his eyes look pretty good as well. Nice bald head. Just looks great. Now taking a look at his body is fantastic. I love it. I love how they made him so buff looking and huge. I love it so much. He has a nice scar right here, which is fantastic as well. Goes up to his shoulder also right there if you see that. But I just love the body sculpt. Very nice. I was afraid they were going to use like an old body sculpt from like Goku or something, but I don't know. But it is nice. Huge back right there, just really muscular because he is probably one of the biggest muscular Z fighters in the whole collection. And it's really nice that they actually did that for him. Now going to the rest of the figure, he is sporting his green outfit right here, which is pretty normal. I don't mind it at all. He does have his little green wristbands right there as well. Red belt, you want to call it that. Green pants. Yellow shoes? I don't know what to call this, but yellow over here, and on the bottom it's black-ish. Almost kind of a brown black. I'm not really sure, but overall it looks pretty good. No complaints here. I want to note the paint scheme. The paint scheme actually is pretty good. And it's a pretty plain looking figure, but there is some good paint scheme overall and sculpting as well. And you know, when it comes to like shading things in and like putting details, normally people do that if the sculpt isn't that great, but the sculpting on this is so good that the light, natural light itself, really enhances the sculpting really well. Like you see all the muscles and everything like that really come out because of the depth in the sculpting All the muscles look nice, looks fantastic. And going down to here, the pants, a lot of shading, a lot of different paint apps over here to make it look a little bit darker in the bottom, so it looks fantastic. Really something they should notice. Not that much in the back though, but you do get it a lot in the front. Alright, so going to articulation, he does have a ball joint in the head, which is right there. At the base of the neck, he does also have a hinge over there. And the base of this neck, on the bottom right here, he also has a ball joint too. So there's quite a bit amount of movement right there, which is pretty nice. At least they give it to you. How good it is, we'll see right now. Looking up though, he doesn't look up that much, surprisingly. Looking down is pretty good, so I'll give it that one. Nice, hold on. Sometimes pops out. There you go. So looking down is really good as well. He does left and right pivots as well, so you do have a lot of movement right there, which is pretty nice. Now going to the shoulders, he does have a butterfly joint in there, which is pretty good too, and he has a standard ball joint in there as well, which is pretty nice. Then he has a hinge at his shoulder here, which goes all the way up, all the way around, no problems there. Bicep swivel, of course. 2 points at the elbow, which gives a little bit better than 90 degrees, but his muscles are just so big that it doesn't go beyond that. And at the wrist, he has a hinge and a pivot and a ball joint, so it's pretty standard right there. At the body, he does have a ball joint, which is pretty good. But a ball joint here and a ball joint down there, so going down is pretty nice, fantastic. Going up is pretty decent. Doesn't go back that far though. Left to right, pivots left and right too, so it's really good movement in this really big body of Tien, so he has a lot of movement in the abs. Left to right, if you want to do a swivel right there, no problems there. Now going down to his hips, he does have those new hip joints for SH Figuarts, so he goes full 90 degrees up, which is fantastic. Goes back a lot as well. Split wise, pretty decent, it's not that bad actually. Thigh swivel right here, 2 points at the knee, which is pretty good too, which is pretty nice. At the ankle right here, it looks like it's on a ball joint, 2 ball joints, one in the base right there, and one at the foot, so he does have pretty good movement overall. Kind of has a hinge, it does pivot as well, it does swivel, he has toe articulation as well, so really good right there. So overall for articulation, Tien is really posable, probably one of the most posable Dragon Ball Z figures of all time, in my opinion at least. Really good articulation, all the ranges are really good too, they move all the way as well. He actually has pretty big pants, just pointing that out, they're pretty thick, which is not a bad thing, but you do have full rotation on them, so it's pretty good. So you shouldn't have any problem posing him at all. Alright, size comparison time. So here is Tien with Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo. Remember that 2-on-2 they had in Dragon Ball Super? That was pretty fun to watch. Size comparison wise, he looks pretty good. I like the size of him. He should be a lot bigger, you know, just in size in general than Goku and Gohan overall. Height wise as well is pretty good. Probably not as tall as Piccolo, but definitely has more mass in him, which I'm pretty happy with. And it looks pretty good. Next up right here, we have him and Chaozu right here, side by side. Chaozu is in a, I guess, sitting position, so, but you pretty much see how tall he is. Next size comparison, we have Future Trunks. This is the Dragon Ball Super body with my SH Figuarts head. Size comparison wise, I like it right here as well. You know, Trunks is decently sized figure, or person you want to call it that, but not as quite as big as Tien. And for last size comparison for fun, here is a DC Icon Superman figure with the SH Figuarts Tien and Goku. I always said that I think the SH Figuarts and DC Icons do match pretty well together in size and general sculpt, so here they are side by side. Alright, some closing notes on this figure. Even though I love it a lot, there's a couple of things that actually bothered me about it. More on the fact of quality control from SH Figuarts, to be honest. It could just be mine though, who knows. For one thing, I did find a little bit I had a little trouble actually putting the heads on. It seemed like the ball sockets are a little bit too small, which is not a big deal. I could always make them a little bit bigger so they go on more flush. I just had a lot of problems sticking them on for some odd reason, but that's not a horrible thing right there. Also with this hand, every single time I try to take off the hand from one of them, right? Right now it's fine, but most of the time the whole thing would come out, which is not a bad thing as well. I could probably just I don't know, maybe put a little bit glue in there to make it a little bit more flush in there, but not a big deal. Alright, with that being said, like I said before, I love this figure. It's a long time coming. The sculpting on this guy is fantastic. I love the new base body they made for him. Everything on this figure is just great. The head sculpts are fantastic as well. The accessories for the hands, you get a little Chaozu right here. man, just a fantastic figure. Really happy if it. Definitely get it in your collection if you can find him. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe. Do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!